Okay, give me a second. Let me pause it on the other side. Sorry. It's just sometimes on the other end it echoes because I've got both up. All right, here we go.
Hey.
All right. Okay, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my Wednesday night live streams. And today I have Billy. Billy has become Billy. For those who don't know the story, I came to be aware of Billy as Hogatha, and I came to be aware of Hogatha through our mutual YouTube friend Daniel Wagner and Anthony Trowick on the fantastic channel of Unframe of Mind, which you guys should all tune into. I didn't know, because I'm an idiot, that Hogatha was a fictional character. And then and sometime later, I was like, oh, I have to get her on. Let me get her on. And then you and I planned together what we would say, not scripted exactly, but I remember saying to you specifically that it was that there were two things I wanted to do in the interview. One, I wanted to call you Hogwarts, and that you would be really super sad and super offended about it.
Right.
which we did, and which you fantastically acted beautifully. And the second thing that I wanted to do was I forgot the second one. It'll come to me. But I remember one line that a lot of my friends, because a lot of my friends think that I was actually being that mean to you, which really shits me because it means that they think I'm that mean.
How funny. I didn't think you were overly mean.
Well, I suppose, I don't know. But the funny thing is that our little social experiment really worked. To credit the Australian left, which I don't do very often, they didn't seem to fall for it as much.
Good.
But I was getting a lot of hate from the American left.
Oh, of course. They love to be outraged. They
Yeah, sorry, you're buffering a little bit. Yeah, well, it was really funny. I loved our experiment. And a couple of leftist pages in Australia have did end up commenting on the story, and they think you're a really bad person. They hate how you're making a parody of true, genuine, misgendered, transgendered individuals. So in their eyes, you are a transphobe.
Oh, right, but it's okay to portray just a biological woman. It's okay to portray a biological woman in a drag form, but as soon as you do a trans woman or a misgendered or whatever, all of a sudden they find the offense in it.
This is true. The double standard is not lost upon me. and very recently, you and I have started receiving a little bit of media attention. Me through Gavin McGuinness, you through Paul Joseph Watson. That must have been super exciting.
I know. I had people sending me these articles. I'm like, oh my God, it's like, I couldn't believe it. It's like, it's weird how I'm starting to understand how really media works and how people will take your videos and make a story about your video. And it's just neat to see other people's interpretation of it. And some people will kind of make it more severe than what it is. But it's just, I actually enjoy it. I saw that what Paul Watson Jones did it. I was like, oh my God, I love it. And I was on Blaze TV. Yeah.
Were you? Oh, that's awesome. Excuse me. Yeah, like I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I'm like, oh my God, my friend is getting noticed. My friend's getting noticed. It was really good. I was really happy for you. It's a very small world, this YouTube world. Hang on, my friend Tim, you'll be on his show this Friday. Billy looks like Newman from Seinfeld.
Oh, I'm not flattered, thank you. I've never heard that before, but it's funny.
Well, I found it, to be honest, I did not expect your character of Kitty to be the breakout character, even though I know that your character of Kitty is not necessarily fictitious. It's just you in drag, whereas Hogatha is fictitious. Like she's a parody.
Exactly.
But your drag queen that took off.
Oh
because
yeah,
of what you said.
yeah, I'm still amazed by the attention it's gotten. I mean, I've received like over 5,000 followers. It really
Yay!
struck a chord in a lot of people, that a drag queen would actually come out and say, you know what, we're not necessarily the best role models for your children, so maybe you shouldn't have them in bookstores and asking us to read to them. um, I didn't understand that, and as I saw and worked with photographed nude with children, nude but covering their genitals. But I understood the environment that the child was in just by what the drag queen looked like. And the child was backstage where they dress and undress. And I just saw this person I know in this compromising position. I'm thinking, why would you do that? Like, why would you not only be that kind of influence on the child, but to allow yourself to be in that position and be photographed? And I just think it's terrible for children and the gay community.
Yeah, it is
Hmm.
terrible. And what shocks me is the sheer persistence of these drag queens to persist in these drag queen story times. It's like, why is it that a sensible gay person, excuse me, I do not have the coronavirus like everyone is suggesting.
Oh
Shoot.
Lord, you see that?
You know what it is? I don't have a sore throat, but I've
Mhm.
been coughing for like a week and a half and it doesn't disappear. It's pissing me off.
How
But I
weird.
don't
How
have a
weird.
cold. My nose is fine. Yeah, it's weird. It's a new disease. I
Hmm.
don't know what it is though. But oh, I thought, come on, guys. No, only kidding. All right, so my I don't understand. My sister said the best thing that she has seen me post ever in the 3 years that I've been doing commentating, the best thing that she has ever seen me post was you. What you said,
Really?
because I
Oh.
reshared it. Yeah, I retweeted it on my not retweeted it. I re-Instagrammed it or reposted it on Instagram. And my sister said on to me when I went to visit her, she goes, "The best thing you've ever shared on your Instagram is the story about the drag queen saying, 'What the hell has a drag queen ever done for you to trust?'" Do you know what I mean? It's like you
Yeah.
had so much attitude when you said it, and you were so right when you said it, and you were so convicted when you said it.
Yeah. I was,
Why?
and it's like, it wasn't, I didn't plan on it. It was sort of best videos come out when I just turn on the camera and go for it. If I was just really feeling it, and I just saw all this going on, and I was like just really offended and just irritated that the community would allow that. And so I don't know, and I'd never seen anybody go up against it. Anybody in my position, a man wearing a dress and a wig. And it's like I know a lot of drag queens, and I'm like, I know a lot do not agree with this, but they're not going to say anything because
Mm,
of the cancel culture. And I'm like, I can't just sit here and not say anything. I had to say something. And the funny thing is, if you look back in my catalog, of videos on YouTube, I've addressed that before in a different way.
ah,
I've addressed it I've addressed it in children being in pride celebrations. Um, I've been to these celebrations and I've seen children there alongside with people dressed in bondage or on a leash or wearing, uh, you know, uh, it's all fetish. It's all fetish related stuff at a gay pride event. It really is. And I don't know why they want to hide that and why you would want children involved. So it just, I don't know. It just all kind of, it just pissed me off. And so I had to say something.
well, I like that you see that, and I know that many gay people do see that. I'm not an advocate for saying that just because you're gay, you're automatically a pedophile. I don't believe that. But
Right.
I am going to ask you a somewhat related question.
Okay.
Why is it that heterosexual or heteronormative society is okay for a child, but a homosexual type environment, why do you think most people, even gay people, kind of look down on it a little bit? Even Milo Yiannopoulos looks down on that a little bit. It's like, yes, a lot of gay people come from heterosexual households, but you can't help but notice that gay pride is relatively disgusting. So, well, do you have an in-depth summary to that?
Okay, can you repeat that? You broke up.
Dude. Okay, hang on. Let me just cough. I was hoping that it was a lot to unpack. Basically,
I know. Yeah.
gay people like yourself
Mm-hmm.
can see the negativity in gay culture,
Okay.
like Mardi Gras, like gay pride. But I don't personally believe that just because you're gay, you automatically are perverted. I mean, I do think you're going to go to hell, which I've told you, but I still love you, but you're not. But it's why is it so inherently obvious, even to gay people with common sense, that gay culture is not a good influence for a little kid? That's my question.
Okay, so as far as like gay culture, it's nothing but it's a party. It's a party culture. That's what it is. It's a party culture, and it's a culture of, Mardi Gras was a great example. Um, I think honestly, and I'll tell you, okay, yes, we all know that there are perverts and pedophiles in every, realm of, humanity or whatever. But the thing I think with gay people, I think involving children, or when they are speaking to children or whatever, I honestly think that they are looking for themselves, looking for acceptance. And I think they themselves are trying to heal maybe the child that's inside of them by, uh, you know, appealing to kids or making them feel safe and welcome and stuff. And I think they personally think they're doing something good, but I don't think that they're seeing the negative side of it. Um, so how can I put it? They don't realize that they didn't need someone to teach them to be gay. You're not taught how to, you just are. And I don't like the influences. I don't like them, like mothers today, their little kids watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's an influence on them. And I think boys who may tend to be, a little girly or a little sissy, what we would call in the past, they might start to think that they're girls. Or I I honestly think that what's happening is gay boys are now turning into girls. They think they're girls because they're gay, and they're seeing these influences of men in dresses and stuff. And rather than see, and this is another thing, I think heterosexual people look at that and think that the drag is a lifestyle, and it's not. It's a costume, and
Yeah.
they don't run around and live as these characters. They put it on and they can't wait to take it off. But I think the impact that it has, that children don't understand that. And and I don't know. I just think it's all wrong. I just think it's wrong. And I think the parents want to be modern woke people. They don't want to get it. They want to be cool. And I think the same people who probably have their head in their phone, or the fathers are playing video games all day.
It's just like Charlize Theron. She has
Mm-hmm.
her son and her daughter, but she's decided that her son, because he one time said when he was 3 that he liked pink or that he was a girl or something, she's now just rammed it down his throat, and now she's socializing him as a girl, and I'm like, are you stupid? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's funny. When I was young, it was like, well, boys can like pink too. They
Of
decided,
course, I
pink
agree
doesn't
with that.
necessarily. And it's like, why can't you just be a boy who likes pink? Why do you have to end up? Oh, well, you are a boy, but maybe you're a girl because you like this color that it.
Mm. I want to talk a little bit about our interview. To me, when I've watched back our interview, the best part of the whole entire interview is when I lost contact. Like the feed stopped and I had to go out of it. And then you're sitting there like this. I don't know what to do. You were in character the whole time. And I'm like, this guy should be an actor. He's so good. That was the best bit. You were so good.
Because I didn't know. Because I was doing that because I didn't know if it would go live. I didn't know. So I didn't want to take the chance. I didn't want people to see through it.
It was so good. Look, Versace Cowboy. Hold on. Is that Bluebeard? Do you know what you do? Bluebeard is an Australian or from my state person who right-wing pest kind of. But anyway, a lot. You know how oftentimes when you're live as Hogatha, I say, "Hey Hogatha, please say this," and then you do it.
Yeah.
I do that because then I can get that snippet and turn it into a video to sort of be silly and show people that I'm a little bit comedic at times too. I'm not trying to really pick on the other person and hurt their feelings. It's just a silly moment.
That's funny.
So oftentimes I get you to say stupid things because people tell me to ask you.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. I think it's fun. I don't mind it at all. Who's Bluebeard?
Bluebeard, I'm going to show you a photo of Bluebeard, but I've done like 3 videos so far with Hogatha saying something like, I had sex with Peter Grace, or I'm Bluebeard. Yeah, Peter Grace.
I remember. Who is Peter Grace?
Oh, he's an older gentleman. He's a lefty. He used to work in radio, and he spent most of the last couple of years oh, hang on. Someone said something here. Bluebeard is the pirate that made Tom Tanuki cry in a bottle shop. I'll explain that to you. I'll explain that to you off camera or when we talk on the phone. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so this person, Peter Grace, makes videos about patriots. Patriot meaning people like myself, people who have some sort of a platform. But lately he hasn't made any videos because I think some people have been complaining about some of his videos because he lies in them or he harasses, and so his page has been taken down. But yeah, and what's funny about Peter Grace, I mean, I don't know him as a person. I don't hate the guy. I don't hate really anyone. But he mischaracterizes and he misinforms people about the facts. Like he sort of, So anyway, so when we say that, it's funny. What the right has done, the Australian right, the Australian right has turned his name, Peter Grace, into a verb. And it's like, oh, I almost Peter Grace myself, meaning like I almost.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't caught on in all of Australia, but it certainly has caught on with like, us patriots and stuff. Hang on, I want to see what Versace was saying. We all know that's not true. Nobody would have sex with Peter Grace. By the way, if you're watching this, Mr. Grace, enjoying your latest band, dickhead. Whoa, Versace Cowboy, that's a bit harsh. Anyway, tell us a little bit about how you came up with Hogatha, because I like the concept of this misgendered moron.
Okay. I just one day decided to be a character that was someone that encompassed every ridiculous label that people are accepting, and it was honestly, I'm thinking, I wonder if I can get away with this, if I could actually be this person that has everything wrong with them and see if people actually believe it. And so I dressed up, I went online, I just went live with amazed at how many people were actually confused and they really didn't know if it was real or not. And they would write to me and they would say, are you a real person? And I would say, the fact that you have to ask me that is why I am doing this, because you don't know. You believe all of this ridiculous stuff that I am saying and doing and the labels that I've given myself, and you believe it. And it was so fascinating to me. And so then I would say, how much more ridiculous could I make this? right now, I think my latest thing that I've done with Hogatha is she's now a fortune teller and she reads tarot cards. But she calls them tarot cards.
Because
And
she's so dumb.
and and people love it and it's amazing. And but one thing I didn't realize is, and you brought it up, the left wing people are completely offended by it. Like it I actually
Yay!
I enjoy triggering them. Like it means everything to me. Where people hate, like getting hate, or like people who join the live videos leaving bad messages, I live for that. And but I've actually had to reel that in because I spend so much time with the haters that I start losing my actual real like followers and my real audience. So I have to kind of
Oh.
stalking people and stuff. But I actually, yeah, I love doing Hogatha. Um, it is hard for me to keep coming up with new stories and new victim, situations that she finds herself in. But I'm probably next week gonna start, picking her up again. Kitty's video that everybody is sharing is starting to, the balloon is deflating. So now I could spend more time with Hogatha.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. I'm planning to be in the United States in November. So,
Uh,
if I'm
oh, that would be
allowed to
nice.
visit you, if I'm allowed to visit you,
Oh,
I would love to be either there with you as you as Hogatha or as Kitty. I don't even care, but like it'd be so
oh,
fun
that would be
to do a
great.
video
That would be
together.
awesome. Yes, I would
How
love
good
that.
would that
Yeah,
be?
yeah, that would be awesome. So, is it?
This
Yeah,
is
where are you coming to California? I can't bear to look at Hogatha.
you are
There are people
ugly.
like that. There are people who are absolutely disgusted by Hogatha. I don't know. Has Tim seen Hogatha eat her zits yet?
I don't know. Tim actually is one of so I know for anyone watching, Tim Wilms will be premiering Kitty for the first time on Australian YouTube show. So that'll be kind of
Mm-hmm.
cool. But Tim private messaged me after the interview and I was living in Sydney for about a month ish at the time
Mm-hmm.
and Tim goes, "So was that for real?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I sort of tried to act like it was, like, but I didn't confirm or deny. But I'm like, well, I said clearly, Hogatha was this and that, and he did research, and he's like, "Yeah, I know that's not real." And I'm like, "Far out!" Like, Tim was a lot smarter than I was because when I first saw you on Unframe of Mind, I'm like, "What the hell
Uh,
is this a real human?" I believed it,
right.
even though I thought your neck was fake, and even though I thought your
Yeah.
pimples were fake, I still chose to believe that you were real.
People think it's funny because people think it's a mask, and it's like, no, it's not a mask. It's just the way you position
Just
your
do it. Do
body.
it now.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh, it's so good. It's so scary. And then when you breathe, you're like, you breathe like such a fat lard. And you're not that fat. I mean, I know you're bigger, but like you're not as
Yeah,
big as you exaggerate. She seems really unfortunately large.
well, yeah, because I lean back, so I put this becomes smaller, and then this becomes bigger. You just trick the camera. I do that, then.
Disgusting. Yeah, because all lefties do that. Like that's a fact. I saw
Oh,
I saw
poor
Hillary
thing.
Clinton breathing like that.
I just wanted to make her annoying and disgusting, but also innocent and naive in a way, to make her vulnerable, and
Yeah, she's
people actually
cute.
like
Yeah,
people like
she's
her
cute.
personality, but they have to like kind of get through the layers of disgusting crap to find a good person. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, you did a really good job because she is so ugly and you're not. And then like and then you have
Thank you.
Kitty Demure, who is like
Mhm.
obviously not demure, so there's a funny name in that, but like still looks good.
Right.
Yeah, you look good
Yeah.
in your when you're a woman, you look okay. Like, and I
Yes. Thank
understand
you.
what you do is for adults, but I will say that I got to know Kitty Demure on my first Kitty Demure video was a video where you were reading a book about Trump the caveman.
That was my parody of like, okay, so you want a drag queen to read. Okay, so they're all reading stories about, living your fantasy as dressed as a
Yeah.
fairy. Or no, okay, I'm gonna do one. And I kind of put a meme out there. I said, Drag Queen Storybook Hour just got an upgrade, and I'm holding the Donald Trump book. And I actually did it. I told everybody, okay, I'm going to go live on YouTube and I'm going to read this book as if I was one of those drag queens. And there were people joining it. They go, actually, I'm here with my child right now, and we're listening to you. We love it.
Sad.
And I'm like, I'm all, okay, whatever. They go, you're the only drag queen I'd want my child to read to. But it's like, I don't want to read to your kids. I just don't. I don't want to read to your child. If
That's so
if
funny.
you want, I don't know,
It was
straight
funny.
up.
I remember, yeah, so the reason I put Melissa McPhee on camera, well, at least this comment, because she
Mm.
pissed me off when my page, which I've unpublished, I now can't republish for anyone watching, I unpublished my Facebook page intentionally, but now I can't republish it, so it is what it is. But anyway, I wrote on my Facebook page, oh, I'm interviewing my first lefty, and she on her own, Melissa McPhee on her own had you. She had liked your page, so she knew who you were already. And then she goes, "Oh, like really, like
Oh,
everyone saw her comment. I had to delete it." But she goes, "You realize that's a fake person?" I'm like,
oh,
"Fuck, piss off, like leave it alone." I was so pissed off. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "How did you know? I didn't tell anyone that I was interviewing Hogatha. I just said I was interviewing my first lefty because I was trying to be like mysterious and lead up to this weirdo lefty." And then obviously she's like, "Oh shit, sorry, I didn't realize," and it was all good. And she's a friend, but like I was annoyed at the time. So
yeah.
that's a bit of extra context for you.
I'll be going through while I'm doing Hogatha, and I do the live chat and I answer people and stuff, and I will see people going, "You guys know this is fake, don't you?" And like there are people who are constantly trying to expose me, so I'm constantly blocking them, and or I act like I don't see them or whatever. But there are people who actually know that it's fake, and they just enjoy watching it. They know it's fake.
Oh yeah. Ask Billy if I can debut on Hogatha's show and Hogatha reads me. Oh, that's true because I'm going with him to America.
Oh, really? Where you guys do you know where you're going?
No, not yet, but I think the point is that if I come on your show, like he could, like you could read him as Hogatha. It'd be funny.
What do you, oh, you mean talk to him and stuff?
I know he just do a tarot card
Oh,
reading, I suppose.
okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I would love to.
You're not really clicking there.
I'm like, oh, I forgot I read cards, but the fortune is
these are
always
these.
hmm?
Sorry,
Oh
no,
my
go. What were
god,
we going to say? The fortune is always
oh,
what?
the fortune is always negative. It's always negative.
Good, good.
Yeah, it's always bad, and it's funny because and I said, oh, your husband's cheating on you, but that's okay because you're gonna find another man who's really gonna, rock your world, and and they enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah. These are the comments that I hate. So this is a regular subscriber, but these are the things that I hate about being a Christian because yes, I'm a Christian, but my channel is made up of different subject matters, and I should be able to interview whoever the hell I want, including you, a gay guy who is conservative, who happens to be a drag queen who hates drag queen story time. Like I've interviewed a transgendered girl on my channel before, Dana Fam or Dana Fam, and I got a lot of commenters also saying, "Oh, I thought this was a Christian channel. Why are you into?" So what I hate about the right is just sorry, this isn't. I'm going on a tangent here, but I hate how there is that. I believe in freedom of speech, but then they go all lefty and go, "How can you interview a gay person, or how can you interview a transgendered person?" because I'm someone who interviews people and I want to get perspective. Maybe that's why.
Right, and that I'm glad you brought that up because you know,
He did it.
while I talked about the lefties being very triggered by what I do, I have also been finding that the extreme right, they don't want me. They don't like the fact that I'm coming up against drag queens because I am a drag queen. So they automatically tell me you're a degenerate. So we don't want you. We don't want your help.
We're all
I go, no, listen.
degenerates. We all sin. Sorry, keep going.
And it's like, listen, I have an insight into this world, and I know a lot of these famous drag queens, and I'm coming and
Do
I
you?
have yes, I know almost every winner from RuPaul's Drag Race show I have worked with, or and
Wow.
there's some that I knew on the show. There's some I knew in my personal life prior to them even being on the show. A
Are any of
lot
them
of these people are.
pedophiles? Sorry, keep going.
No, not that I know. I mean, people don't usually share that information.
Keep going.
but but a lot of the people from that show has come from Southern California,
Interesting.
and just in so I mean they've extended to New York and stuff like that, but it really a lot of them are local drag queens from this area, and what was I saying? Oh, I have insight into these people, into the lifestyle, into what really goes on in drag, and I'm sitting here telling people I'm being a voice saying, you guys stop doing this. But yet the extreme right is telling me, just shut up and go away. And it's like, I don't under so what I did was in this last interview that I did, people were commenting and saying negative stuff. And I said, listen, okay, to these guys, I go, why is it a man like me? And I was in drag. I said, why is it that a man like me has to do your job as a heterosexual man to try to get this stuff to stop? I'm sitting here speaking up. I'm telling heterosexual people to not bring their children around this. And now you're attacking me. I just think.
I think you should be commended. I think you should be. And I mean, I don't know what people expect of me in terms of like the people that I hang out with or interview. And me saying that you should be commended is probably a bad thing. But look, you're gay. I can't stop you from being gay, and you do drag. I can't stop you from doing that either. But I think the world of drag is something that it's for adults. I've been to Thailand. I've seen the lady boys do their little cabaret shows. Am I a horrible, evil person for wanting to see the show? It's for adults. You go in, you see them do a scene from Dreamgirls and whatever, and it's entertainment. I don't approve of it, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it as a once-off. Like, how many people in life haven't watched porn? Like, I mean, it's really easy to point and be like, you are bad. Whereas I acknowledge that I'm bad. I know I'm a sinner. I know I do the wrong thing. I know I'm not always going to do the right thing according to everyone. And it's really up to me and God and no one else. Like, but at least I acknowledge what I do wrong.
Right. I don't get it. It's like, people kind of just worried everything would be better. Just what, stop pointing your finger at others.
Yeah. And so, sorry, people watch porn because it's not banned like it should be. Probably true. That's probably true. But go.
I mean, what are we all just supposed to be locked in a room and monitored? I don't know. I mean, at some point we're just all humans and we're gonna do what we want to do, and it's so funny because these people, it's almost like they don't believe in freedom, and it's like, I don't get it.
Sorry, I'm just.
Oh no,
okay,
go ahead.
I want to ask how you became a conservative. Why are you a gay conservative? Why don't you lean left? Why aren't you a Democrat?
Okay, I really didn't. How can I put it? I didn't recognize myself as somebody who was conservative. I just kind of considered myself someone who does the right thing, and I keep my drag and stuff really in my personal life, or in the nightlife at the club. I don't do that anymore. All the drag that I do is strictly just for camera purposes now. But was our last election when I actually started calling myself more of a conservative person. Although the right is telling me
Cool.
I'm not. They're telling me, no, you're not a conservative. You're not. There's no such thing as a gay conservative. It's like, whatever. You know what? Throw all the labels out. I don't give a shit. But I really, the last election kind of really swung me. I changed my party affiliation. Um, I just, I believe in family. I believe in just doing the right thing. And I know, why is that considered conservative now? But I think it is. It's like, I just think the left has gone way too crazy. I think liberals have gone way too crazy. And of course, me being a gay man, I do believe in some liberal policies. So I'm sort of like, I'm sort of, in between, and what's in between. I don't know what you would call yourself, but I believe in protecting children,
Same.
in raising children. They're the next generation. They're who's going to be. You're handing them the baton. They're going to be taking care of us when we're old. Why don't I want them to have a good head on their shoulders? And I don't know. I just now, and people want to say, well, you're not religious, so how can you be conservative? I'm not a religious person. It doesn't mean that I don't have I don't have ideals that might be Christian in nature,
Of
because I
course.
don't,
Of course.
so I don't know it, but the Democrats, the liberals, the left in the United States anyway, have, I can't support them. So the only thing left for me was, conservative Republican and culture. So that's where I'm at. So if they don't want gay people in, well, we'll just sit on the fringe side. We'll just sit on the sides and we'll do our own thing. But I don't know. I don't know how you.
Mm.
I don't know
I
how the two.
I feel like, yeah, I know what you're saying, because I don't know where I sit. I know where I sit on the right in terms of what the spectrum shows when you do those tests. But
Mhm.
and I try not to listen to the commenters, but also at the same time they come and they watch me, so I feel like they have an idea of me. Some of them have a completely
Mhm.
wrong idea of me. But my point is that we are so layered as people, and I believe in forming an alliance where you can get it. You can't be
Mhm.
like, let's make the right stronger, but let's kick out anyone who dresses in drag, or let's kick out anyone who's a pagan, or whatever it is. You have to be Christian. You're
Right.
not allowed to be an atheist to be on the right. I believe we need to form alliances where we have them, and then if you need to break those alliances later because you've succeeded, well then, I mean, I guess you could do that, but like, I don't know. I'm bothered a lot by some of the. That's why I made a video not too long ago saying I am no longer a conservative. I still am a conservative. Like, it's just easy to use that
Right.
title. But if someone were to ask me and we were having an in-depth conversation, I'd say, look, technically, I reject the label conservative, but I lean right and blah 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 blah. But like, I'd go into it, but it's just easier to say I'm a conservative. But lately I've been saying I'm Christian and I lean right. That's still a relatively short
Mhm.
sentence. But yeah. What are your thoughts on gay couples raising children? Because I wrote a post about this not too long ago when I had my page, and a lot of people disagreed with me. My point was, I basically said, if you're a heterosexual couple and you pass all the test of like stability and or whatever crap, and good money coming in, you should be able to adopt kids. But I also don't oppose gay couples raising kids if they are truly are together and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But because gay people are seen as so degenerate and slutty, and that monogamy is almost impossible and all that kind of stuff, people were like, "How can you say that? Oh my god!" And I said, "I'm only saying that they should raise them if it's like the last resort." And I know that sounds mean, but what are your thoughts on
Right.
that?
Right. My actually my opinions are pretty similar to yours. I actually said one time, I go, well, think about the orphanages with all the children. There's going to be some ugly ones that heterosexuals don't want. So what do you do? Just what do you do? You just leave them there? You leave them there in the dog pound? No. Okay. So there's going to be some stable gay people out there. And I think maybe we will start seeing things a little differently the more because it's fairly new, gay marriage and stuff, and there are gay people that I know who've been together for 20 years.
Without ever
We
cheating on
just
each other?
see. Oh, I don't know. My father cheated on my mom, and they're heterosexual. We actually walked in on my father having
I've
sex
been
with one
cheated
of my
on.
mother's coworkers. So,
Hmm.
I come from a broken home from adultery. So, I you know
This is what I'm sorry.
I don't know how
I'm
to
going to
answer.
interrupt you. Heterosexuals sin just as much as gay people, and that's going to lose me people saying that. But I sin. I know I do, and we have this concept that a dick in a backside is somehow worse than other types of sexual interaction, which I don't know much about
Right.
because everyone knows that I'm not really a sexual person. But anyway, so keep going.
Well, right. Okay. And you were just talking about the sex act. They're so focused on that. And it's like, can you just get your mind out of the gutter for a minute and think about maybe love and companionship and stop thinking about the penises and the butts and stuff like that? But anyway,
I don't want to think
um,
about it.
no, I don't. But they're
Yeah,
fixated on it, and
yeah, yeah.
it's like okay, I do a family. Okay, I was raised, and me as a gay person, I thought this was weird. There was my friend. He was raised by
Keep talking.
lesbians. My I had I, I a couple, and they lived across the street. Now we're them, but the funny thing is, both of those kids are doing great now, and they're both heterosexuals, and they both have families, and they both have jobs, and they're both more normal than the mother was who raised them. And so that's an example that I personally know. But if you are one of these partying gay people who are not ready to settle down, if you're at the strip club all the time, if you're out hooking up, no, you
Gays are
shouldn't have
slutty.
children.
Gays are sluttier
Oh,
than
oh, they are. They
heterosexuals.
are.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. And yeah, they have no real shame. They really don't. And but yes, there is a minority of gay people out there who could raise children, but I don't think that they should be the first choice because
No.
I don't think they should be the first choice. And I think a stable home with a man and a woman, raising them in a home with love and discipline, and with strong ethics and education and work. I think that's the best. That's the best blueprint for a child. Um, does it always work out? No, but is mostly. So no, I be a last resort.
Have you ever been with a woman? And if so, why didn't that work out?
Yeah, oh
As
yeah,
in,
I've
sorry,
been.
that's a stupid question to think about. You're gay, but what I mean is, why didn't you? I guess
You
this will
know,
sound bad, and I don't care, but why didn't you try to be
yeah.
straight for longer?
The funny thing is, I had long-term relationships with women, and the sex life was fine. I had a great
Okay.
sex life. It had a great sex. I put it. I was more emotionally, I want to say, attracted to women. Um,
Okay. That's
it's
a
so
good thing.
complicated. Huh?
That's a good
What you?
thing. Emotional attraction is almost more important.
But you
No?
know what? Yes, no, I understand. But at some point, they always did not like me as far as my uh, the thing that say drag. You're never going to find a woman who likes their man doing that. Okay. Um, um, and then it's not like that was like it's so important to me that I have to do that. But I don't know. I honestly, and I know this might get me in trouble. I didn't like pleasing a woman. Like I
That
I
just
didn't
sounds
like it.
selfish.
It is. Um, but I found it to be a chore. And I'm not just talking sexually. Um,
Did you do
just the type
women, sorry, this is Did you do women from the back? Or did you do them from the front?
Everything.
You don't have to answer that question.
No, I did everything.
Okay, so because you're gay, but you're gay, right? So I know if anyone wants to tune out because you think I'm being unchristian, please do so. A gay man is attracted to another gay man, and their form of sex predominantly is from behind. So why, and I know this will sound offensive, and I know this will be a bad soundbite for the left, but why can't a guy, and I'm not a woman that would ever allow a guy to do that to me, if anyone ever wants to have sex with me that way, I'm going to slap you across the face. But if you have women who are willing to go from behind, why need a man? Does that make sense? Do you understand my question?
No, see, and I understand your question, but that's like,
okay, yeah.
It's not, that isn't why you're gay, is because you want to put your penis in a butt. I mean, I mean,
okay, tell me. I would never do it, and I don't know why women would allow their men to do that to them. I actually find that gross. I find that, that's why
and yeah, I've been with women who like that. And the funny thing is, I questioned why they like it.
Those women are sluts.
Well, I questioned why they like it, because I don't understand. They don't have a they don't have a prostate. They don't have something to stimulate in their butt. So I didn't understand why they enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't know. But those women are whores.
But the thing is,
I'm sorry, all your ex-girlfriends are whores.
I enjoy what would make me gay is I like the companionship with a man, and I like physically, I think they're attractive. So I mean, not every one of them. I mean, of course. I mean, but
of course not.
But I don't. It's it's hard to explain. I don't know. I mean, and some people say, "Well, are you a bisexual?" It's like, no, I'm not, because I don't see me ever being in that kind of relationship with a woman again. It's almost like I've made up my mind. I've made up my mind.
You really are teaching me. Like, I'm getting an insight into the mind of a gay man that I've had this insight before, but it's good to get it on camera, like, sort of thing. So even though people think this is a degenerate channel.
Right. Well, it is amazing. It is amazing to me how many people, they really have questions and they won't ask, or
people are afraid to ask,
or they are.
Yeah, they are. I'm not. I ask the questions I want because if I'm curious, and maybe others are curious, despite the graphic nature of the conversation. I think it's interesting questions. All right, well, let's move back on topic. Did you know that one of the channels, or one of the people who made your story of Kitty Demure saying what's so good about drag queens, why do you parents, why do you try to be so cool, was Cauldron Pool. And Cauldron Pool is a friend of mine, the man he's a friend of mine, and he wrote one of the articles about you that circulated, and it was a very well received article. Yeah.
I that was the one I saw really in the heaviest circulation, was that one right there. No, I liked it. And I haven't really, I haven't found any that I didn't like their, the way that they used my video or my words. Some people do tend to, but then again, the written word removes personality. And I think once the personality is gone, it does kind of change when you just see the words, and people will see the words and go, "Oh my God, that's awful." Delivered, it changes it. So that's the only thing that I didn't like about people. And it's funny, I didn't even expect that to happen. I really didn't. And all of a sudden I'm seeing this. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, people are paying attention to it and writing on it.
Hey, if anyone has questions, start asking. I know it's a little late, it's the last 10 minutes, but we can maybe go 15 minutes more. There is a drag event at a school run by a kid drag queen to spread the message about anti-bullying, of course. Not content with libraries and childcares. they move into formal education settings, and that's a problem. We shouldn't have any homosexuality, transgenderism placed into the education system. Is this happening in the United States as well?
It is. In fact,
That's tragic.
I am. It is, and I never understood what happened to drama class. Like that was the place where you could go and dress up and be creative and be different characters and stuff. Are kids not doing drama anymore or the theater? But
Yeah.
but I have an interesting thing about the kids and schools and stuff. I have been asked because of my video, this woman's group in Northern California. They've invited me to come up and be part of a discussion panel.
Good, well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, at this school, this amazed me. There's 472 kids. It's an elementary school, and or I don't know what you would call it in Australia, grammar school, elementary school.
Primary.
Okay.
Primary school.
They out of the 472 kids, 350 say that they are LGBT people. And it's like, that's like a tragedy, really. I mean, when you have the vast majority of students at a school who do not think that they are their biological sex, or they think they're some other gender or some other creature, there's something going on. There's definitely something going on. And so they want me to come as Kitty on a panel of other people that will include other gay people. And we're going to speak to the mothers of these children. But they're not going to like it because they're going to see me looking fabulous. But then I'm going to tell them how wrong they are.
How good.
Doing this to the.
We need people like you in the movement. We do.
Well, yeah,
Go.
And people will listen to it. They'll listen to it more from somebody like me.
Yes, that's true. That's so you're like a little weapon. It's really fantastic.
Yeah. Well. What shampoo do I use? I use a bar of soap and then I use a razor.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Anxious as Aussie. What are your thoughts on gay couples using contract law to buy kids in the womb? Example, Washington law passed about a year ago. I forget the
name. What? Where you find a pregnant woman who don't want her baby and you pay her to birth it? Is that?
I think she's talking about surrogacy. I think she's talking about paying to use someone's womb. I think that's what she means, like rent a womb.
Oh, what do I think about it? I don't know. I mean,
do you find it a little immoral? Do you find it a little unusual? Like, it's not.
Well,
organized in God's plan sort of thing.
I don't know. I don't know if it's unusual because I think it's always been a part of our culture for heterosexuals, but. Now that they're having okay, I'll tell you this. I have my oldest half sister is a lesbian. Okay. And she wanted me to be a sperm donor to her wife. So when the child comes out,
be your nephew, son.
Right. And it would be my sister as well. So it would be biologically both of them in a certain way. And I said no.
Sure.
I said no.
Why?
That was kind of. I think it's creepy. I mean, I guess in my own personal life, I wouldn't want that. I don't know if it's okay for other people. That's for them to decide. But for me personally, no, I'm not donating any of my baby gravy to anybody.
Yuck. Okay. Well, fair enough. Let's see if there are any other questions. What movement would this be? The conservative movement. Okay, let's go down. Because people are asking questions. Here we go. Peter V. Billy, do you believe the notion that gays will be eventually forced out of LGBTI movement in order to push for, the P meaning pedophile and, so he's written it, yeah.
There is already a movement of gays that are separating themselves.
Oh, separate. Okay, good.
Because there is actually a large amount of gay. There are a large amount of gay people who are now coming together and saying, we don't even want to be a part of the alphabet cult. Because what they have done is there are many gay people who don't even understand trans issues, nor do they care. And why should we care?
Two separate things.
It's two separate things. Now, a trans person can also be gay, But
Sure.
what the hell? What does that have to do with us? It's like, I don't know. It's like we're gay and that's it. We're just living our lives. But
You're comfortable in
you,
your body.
yeah, it
They're
has
not.
nothing to do with us. So it's
Yeah.
like, why they go? Oh well, we're allies. Well, maybe you are, but we're not. There are gay people, and probably the more conservative type of gay person. They're like, I'm tired of this mess. I'm tired of the trans. I'm tired of all the genders. I'm tired of the pushing of the children into the culture. And it's like, there are gay people who actually consider themselves not part of that culture, but you don't
Well, good
see
for
that.
them.
The media will never show it. But there are people out there who do not like all of the letters, that they have separated themselves, and they are actually trying to actually organize. And I'm seeing the organization happening now.
Wow.
Okay.
My friend Reg, what's your thoughts on Wilson Gavin's protest against the drag queens reading to kids? Remember how he ended up committing suicide and stepping in front of the train? Did we talk about that?
Yeah,
Do you know about that? Yeah.
I do know about it, and I think that was actually part of the reason why I made my video. Um,
Fantastic. Well done.
what um, first of all, I
Yeah,
don't know
his
what the hell would ever make you step in front of a train. I don't know, but
well, the left,
he
I suppose, got to him.
obviously was
Like
not
the hate
strong
comments,
enough.
and they were going to dox him. Yeah, I
See,
think he was obviously mentally quite strong at the start, but then that one event, they must have obviously just gone overboard with the poor guy or threatened him
it,
somehow that we're not aware of. I think something happened behind the scenes we're not aware of. So he was either
true.
pushed in front of that train or he killed himself because he didn't want any danger to come to his family. I don't know. I think it's a little bit more than we think it is.
Do you know how old he was? He was younger, wasn't he?
22, 21. Yeah. Was a
Right.
kid.
And one thing I've noticed is there are people who take what happens online so seriously. And it's funny because I don't know if it's just me or my age group. We always looked at it as a fad. Like it's like we always kind of looked at the internet as something that wasn't going to take off or something that wasn't going to last. Well, it's here. And the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I can disconnect myself from all of the crap online. Like, because I've lived half of my life without the internet, without social media.
Yeah.
Since I turn it off, it doesn't exist anymore. And realistically, that's the truth. And I don't care about the hate that people type out. I see words. It doesn't bother me. Now, of course, if somebody, makes a legitimate threat and they've made themselves known, like say at my work or at my home, then I'm going to worry. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
people, calling me names, I don't care. To me, it's childish. So maybe
Absolutely.
I'm a better because I'm 50 years old. I can I'm I can get this message out and really not care what people say.
Wait, you're 50 years old, but Hogatha's 38.
That's true. Yeah. I'm glad you reminded me because I don't know how old she is. I forget.
Yeah, she's 38. Don't worry, I'm keeping track of your weird little character. There was a question here that I saw. The left. Anxious Aussie asks the most interesting questions. That's not a question
Okay.
though. To the left, most gays are cis white males, which cancels out any victim points.
Well, yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that is a in the I don't know if it's happening where you live, but in the United States, yes. You could check off every oppressed or supposedly oppressed group, but as soon as you check off the cisgendered white male, it completely invalidates everything else. And
Yeah, it's
because
crazy.
because what they're going to say is regardless of anything, you still have your white privilege. In the end, you still have your white privilege, and
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
it's your fault you're born with white skin.
right. You know what I do? I love telling people who completely believe all that crap. I said, yeah, you guys are going to be really mad when you figure out that every white person when they get old, they get a substantial check from the government to take care of themselves, and I make them believe that that is a privilege that white people have, and no one
Mm-hmm.
has really bought. No one has bought it yet, but I keep trying.
Dear Pushers for Globo Homo Base, Based as fuck. Okay, so I'm globo homo because I'm interviewing someone and I think we should align ourselves or have an alliance with them because they're on our side in the meantime, even though I disagree very strongly with homosexuality. That makes me a globo homo. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
No, Gia, just let me have it.
Thanks for the comment.
They won't be happy until you say, you know what, I want you to die and go to hell now.
Billy, you're disgusting, and I'm going to pray the gay away. I do pray for that. I have prayed for that for other people, but it hasn't really worked.
Now, can you explain globo homo?
I think it means that you love like the world globe and you happen to be a homo.
Oh, okay.
No one's asking any interesting questions anymore. Okay, tell me what you think about this whole conservative movement. What are your thoughts on like Ben Shapiro? I like to know what people think about specifics. Do you find Ben Shapiro to be a bit of a hypocrite? It's like okay for him to advocate for the ethno-nationalist state of Israel, but if you're a white person and you want to say, you know, I'm for ethno-nationalism here in the United States or whatever it is, you're a Nazi. What do you think about like those sorts of double standards with like certain conservatives, Ben Shapiro in this case?
Well, I'm not really familiar with what he I mean, I'm familiar with Ben Shapiro, but I'm not really familiar with his whole stance on that. I'm not really familiar with it. I
just gave you the whole entire context.
So he believes in an ethno state of Jerusalem or whatever, and
which is fine. He should like that's
and comparing that to white nationalism.
Yeah, he should be an ethno-nationalist for Israel if he really believes that. That's fine, but he's living in the United States, so what's wrong with the white people wanting that for themselves over there?
Well, he probably does believe in it. He just can't say it.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know. I don't know. It's funny. We constantly as far as white nationalism.
Are you a Civnat? Are you a nationalist? I think you're a Civnat.
What I think is, I really, whoever can handle the job is the best person for the job. I just can't help but notice brown people are running into the arms of white-run countries, and if I don't know what to take from that, other than they want to go to these. I mean, what? How else am I supposed to look at that? But then again, maybe I'm supposed to look at, oh, the white people have disenfranchised all of these brown people, and that's why we're doing so well. So they're just coming here to reap the rewards that were. It was some bullshit thing, but no, I don't need my power structure to be white. I just want it to be right. And
but white is right. No, just kidding.
Well, so far it has been, and brown people agree, or they would not be tearing our border down to get here. So I don't know. I mean, I believe them. I believe them when
before Trump won the primaries, my pick was not a white person. My pick was Dr. Ben Carson.
Oh yeah, okay.
I liked him, and he's great. But then a white nationalist would argue, but he was educated under a white country, and that's why he's great. You know what I mean?
Well, the funny
I love Ben Carson.
The funny thing is, the left looks at Ben Carson as like a pawn or a tool. They look at him as stupid, even though he's a brilliant man.
He's a brain surgeon.
Right. And but they don't want to acknowledge that. They just say he's a coon, which is,
horrible word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they call him a traitor? What's the word for traitor in America?
Traitor. You mean you mean like
a
from
word,
the black community?
Something Sam? Something Sam? Dr. Sam? Like, it doesn't matter. Keep going.
No, but yeah, the more of the liberal black community, they don't really care for Ben Carson. They think that he was just kind of placed in the Trump cabinet just for optics, but they know. Oh yeah, and Uncle Tom, yeah. And that's how they look at him. But
thanks, Port.
Wait, what's this up here?
Oh, so
Okay, here's
here's a question.
oh.
How much support do you think Trump has amongst gays?
Um, he has some. In fact, I'm going to the Trump rally when we're done with this. I'm taking off and going, and I'm going to go meet up with other gay people that are already been in line for 24 hours. So
Oh yeah, you told
there is
me.
a
How
gay
exciting.
following. Is it huge? No. Is it bigger than people
Tiny.
think? Yes. It's bigger than
Mm,
people think, though. I would never, ever, ever, ever show you a gay person supporting. They constantly get called a self-loathing gay. Um, they believe that there are
Congratulations.
people in this city or the state that I live in who believe that Trump wants to put us all in concentration camps. It's just and they say it with a straight face, and I'm like, I at this point I really can't even talk to you. Like, I really have nothing to say. I mean, you're so far gone that there really is no purpose for any kind of conversation with you. Billy, do
Mm,
you know why organizations like Google, Apple, etc., have a high number of LGBT employees? They do it for the same reason why they have big population Latino people, because if they don't, they will be labeled as a racist company. So they have to make sure that they have an equal amount of everybody, so everybody's happy, but in the end, nobody's happy.
mm.
They also hire people that are unqualified too, so they could fill a certain,
Quotas.
yes. Billy, who are your favorite conservative political commentators? Oh, who, you know what? I love, there's no Tucker Carlson. I love him.
Yes! I love the face he pulls. He's always in shock to what the. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. For his
Love
eyebrow, raise his eyebrow. You know what? I love Tucker Carlson. God, I'll tell you. It's more like I can tell you who I don't like. Who I don't like. I don't care for Sean Hannity, and a lot of people love him. I don't really care for him.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm indifferent to him.
I think he kind of whines. I think he's a whiner.
He might
Um,
be.
yeah, he just whines a lot. And he kind of is very
Oh, good.
repetitive. Um,
Yeah.
will Hogatha be personally delivering man nappies to Peter Grace? Are those diapers for his birthday coming up?
I had to put that up there because the person kept repeating the question. So I'm like, okay, he wants the question to be heard.
I would be happy to.
Well, come to Australia.
Hey, are you guys still on fire?
Yeah, I think so. I think thank Christ there's been a lot of rain, but there's always a little bit of fire. I could be wrong. People might say I'm wrong. But yeah, I think there's still a lot of fire.
I want to know. Do you guys know what how the United States have used that fire to sell climate?
Oh, of
And
course they
also,
have. I saw it at the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards.
and is it true? Since I'm speaking to Aussies, is it true that that a lot of it was set by arsonists?
Yes, majority of them were. Yeah.
Yeah, and you try to tell people that, because I was reading that after, of course, the United States, the sky's falling, Australia's on fire, we're all going to die, and it's all our fault. And I started seeing these like articles coming out about arsonists, and I would tell people, "Go, do you know a lot of this, man?" Yeah, well, you know what? It wouldn't burn as ferociously if it wasn't for global warming. It's like, you guys, you're not going to be happy till the world dies. Like, they're not going to be happy till we're extinct. Okay, my wife wants to ask Hogatha, what is her position on spanking?
I
Well,
was raised in a
Hogatha,
Christian home. I was spanked.
are we speaking? Are we talking about spanking children, or are we spanking each other in bed for
Children.
pleasure? Okay.
Children.
Um,
That guy is like so Christian, and I don't think that concept would have entered his brain.
well, I think it's because he said my wife, and so I'm wondering. Um, so I don't know. What do I think about spanking? I think some kids need it and some don't.
But he wants to know
And
as Hogatha, what does Hogatha think, not you personally?
Oh, Hogatha thinks if you're a rambunctious white male, you probably need spankings. Rambunk
Mm.
kid, you're just misunderstood.
Do a bit of Hogatha now. Like, just give us like 5 seconds of Hogatha.
Okay. We shouldn't be like beating or really spanking black children because, we did that to them as slaves. Just resurrect the feelings that they might be suppressing from their slave ancestors. But when it comes to, white people, white boys, sometimes they do need like a smack across the head, just to remind them that you're just a privileged white male and, you know, uh, you need to be taught a lesson.
I love how gentle Hogatha is because, like, when I was being really mean to her, you were so gentle in your response. I'm like, oh, like, the left lies to you. The left says how inspirational you are and that you are beautiful at any size, and that
Isn't
even
it
though it's
sick?
not
It's
true,
sick.
Hogatha's ugly.
Oh, she is, and I'd actually, and they don't just send, they will send me personal messages saying, I really think you're a beautiful woman, and I would read it, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell to say to them. Like, I really don't, and I'll ignore them because it's like I'm not going to dignify that with an answer or anything. It's like, but then I did realize there are some really like sick people out there. Like, there are people who thought Hogatha was like their best friend, and it was just I don't know. These are it sort of also doing Hogatha. While I find it very, but there are people out there who actually identify with her, and I don't know what to say to them. I just kind of
Yeah.
have you been too tolerant of gay culture?
Have
Is
we?
that oh have we?
I think we have.
I think I think we've legitimized the dark side of gay culture.
Yeah.
I don't I because we all don't run around with pink thongs on. We all don't,
No.
we don't wave rainbow flags. Like in front of our house, we have the Marine flag, the United States flag, and the Marine flag. We don't have gay flags. Um, I don't think it needs to be celebrated. I don't think it's a culture that needs to be celebrated because it's not really a culture. It's um, it's nightclub culture. Just with more men than women. I don't know.
Depravity.
Yeah, it's hedonism, it's decadence, it's it's not really a culture. It's not a you know
It's
what
not a
gay
culture.
it's not a gay culture is not a culture that heterosexuals have not enjoyed themselves in their own culture. We you just
Mm,
basically just fill a club up with men half dressed and then they call it gay culture. There is no
yeah.
culture. It's just irresponsible partying nightclub culture. Okay. You shall not lie with okay, yes, I get it. And isn't there a scripture near that says you shouldn't eat shrimp or
Yes.
wear a blended fabric garment? See, I
Yes.
know people. People I know.
This is okay. This is my thing. I will always, and I know you know this, and I know you don't mind, but I will always find the act of homosexuality to be a sin.
Yeah.
God looks further than that. God looks into the heart and into the mind. So by that
Yeah.
notion, I've probably been homosexual before in my brain at some point in my life. Like God has probably written that down. Like, oh, that's a sin against dear. Whatever. Like we all sin fine. We all think badly. In the Bible, the standard that God has for us is so high that if you just look at someone else with lust, you've already committed the act of adultery. So none of us really can live up to this amazing high standard. It's too difficult. But this is where I stand specifically on homosexuality. I believe Christians have focused too much on it. I believe the focus should be
Yeah.
on sin rather than on ew, you do that type of sex, which I do find gross, but like I'm not going to hate you for it. I'm still going to get along with you as a person for it. I mean, not for
Right.
that, but like, yeah. But my issue is that in the Bible, the way gluttony is treated, meaning, for those who don't know what that means, meaning overeating, that is also a sin. And
Mhm.
I could be wrong, and I know half of you will correct me. I think it's also an abomination to be fat. I think it's an abomination to be fat. And so the focus that has been so uber focused on homosexuality has been completely neglected with the obesity thing. I think if you want to show the love of Christ to people, you do that by saying we all sin rather than gays this and gays that. Like this guy named Pastor Stephen Anderson, or Anderson Stephen, I forget his name. But like, um, I my issue with homosexuality is just that God doesn't like it. And because God doesn't
Mhm.
like it, well then I as a byproduct also don't like it. I personally have no real issue with it. I just find it like a bit gross. But like there are sins that in the Old Testament it was worthy of death. But when Jesus died on the cross, um, that was for everyone, including the gay person. And so I don't really know how to balance that. I'm still figuring it all out. But I'm not going to be a dick to you and not interview you to please a bunch of people who think I shouldn't talk to you because I'm normalizing it or whatever it may be. Like I can't get my head around that. It's not good enough for certain people that I'm against homosexuality. I have to also not talk to you. I have to also like completely ignore you. Like, and I just won't do that.
Well,
What do you reckon?
I also can't ignore the fact that people tend to be more disgusted by the sin that they're not indulging in.
Well, yeah.
It's like, well, my sin is not homosexuality, so I could bash it all day long. But I may be
Yes.
500 pounds,
That's
and I may be a glutton. I may be cheating on my wife. I may be lusting after people. I may be watching porn, but we're not going to talk about that sin. We're going to talk about your sin. And
I
it's like,
know.
oh,
I hate that. I hate that. That's that's Christian
really?
hypocrisy at its finest.
Well, these people honestly be more concerned about their own sin so they can get right with God.
They should be concerned about their
And
own
I,
salvation.
well, see, the thing is, I grew up going to church. When I was
That doesn't
born,
make you a
first,
Christian.
oh, I know it doesn't, but it makes me understand the culture and understand the teachings. And it's like, first it was we were Catholics. I was baptized or christened a Catholic, and then when my father committed adultery, my parents figured going to church was going to make it better. So we started going to the Southern Baptist Church, and all got saved. We all got saved as a family. Um, we all were baptized. We all did all that stuff, and Bible studies and Sunday schools and stuff. And it's funny because I was part of the choir in my church, and it wasn't even it was a Wednesday. We were doing rehearsals, and I wore a Culture Club shirt with Boy George on it. I didn't think anything of it. So went to the church so I could sing, and the pastor looked at my shirt and he goes, "How dare you wear that here? You're promoting bisexuality." And I'm like, "I don't even know what bisexuality is." And
Mm.
he educated me through saying it, that I went home and go, "What's bisexual?" Anyway, so then I realized what it was. And then about a week later, he came into our home, and we basically had to destroy all of our posters and records and things like that. And
Yeah,
it's
this is an
like,
issue with some Christians.
right. And so,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's not really a good example of love. And I mean, so, as a child, that stuff sticks with you. So,
Yeah. There's a
and
question.
it, and I was completely resentful of religion for many, many years. And I was very fixated on bashing it and putting it down and stuff. And
I
I'm
don't
not,
like
I'm
organized
not,
religion. I hate it.
and
But
I'm not,
What I have with Christ is
mhm.
personal. Two separate things.
Right. And that's how, so I no
Hmm.
longer, I no longer bash people's religion. I don't have to agree with it or believe in it to let somebody else enjoy it. And so that's no longer a battle that I have. I did for many years. I no longer battle that anymore. It just, what's Billy's view on masturbation? Is he like me and like to knock the top.
I think I shouldn't have put that question up. I didn't really read it. I just saw that it was a question. I don't know if that's a serious question, but you don't have to answer that. Yuck. Sorry.
Sir, I
Sorry. Dude, that's a disgusting question. Go, respond if you want to.
I don't, you know, the older I get, the less I find that I need to do that, especially when I have someone who will do it for me.
Okay. Stop. All right. I had a question, and this is a serious question, and I'm really sorry if I'm stepping into territory that's bad. There's a statistic, I don't know what it is, that most gay people are gay because at some stage in their earlier life they were molested. Are you at all in
I'll
that
be
category?
completely honest. I'll be honest about this. This is okay. I knew I was gay, or at least I knew I was attracted to men or boys or whatever from a very early age. But that I thought I knew that before. I was molested by a female babysitter when I was 9.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which I know is rare, which I know is a rare thing. The funny thing is, at the time it happened, I didn't really look at it as a traumatic experience. You just kind of, you know, and of course you're 9, so it's not like a traditional male-female sexual. Yeah, she was a college student, but it was, you know, I mean, there was no intercourse, but there were other things, you know, and so
I'm sorry.
But I'll tell you what was weird about that was when I got older, I saw her in a grocery store when I was older. I was in my 20s when I saw her.
What'd you say?
And it was, well, she didn't recognize me because, you know, I was now a grown man, but I recognized her because she was already grown up when the last time I saw her. But when I saw her, it was really weird. I got really but I got really weak. Like I got really like terrified, and it was a strange feeling. But that didn't, in my view anyway, it didn't really ruin my relationship with women at all. I still liked women. I always respected women because I really respected my mother and my grandmother, and I always had strong women in my life. But I don't know, but I would like to see a statistic on that. You know, how many? Because there are lots of gay men who have been through, you know, those situations. So I don't know. There could be something to it.
But did you not confront her and say, "Why did you do that to me when I was 9?"
No,
that's
no,
horrible.
No, I was scared. It was weird. I was petrified, and I never thought I would feel that way.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's horrible. So do you think your attraction to men is a byproduct of molestation, or had you already had that attraction prior to 9?
I already had that attraction. And you know, but then again, but how do you know? I mean, I was a kid. I knew, I mean, you don't know about sex and all that. I just knew that but I did know what I found attractive, you know. So, and that was boys and girls, you know.
Yeah. There were some good questions I think I saw. This isn't a question. This is more of someone informing you, but it's good information to have. Female pedophiles are not rare. They are just not reported.
Oh.
Some of the most heinous things reported to education services are done by women. I don't know whether that's in the States or in Australia, but either way, that's good information to know because we think that men are more perverted than women, but I, again, don't think that's true. I think that's very valid information.
Yeah. I think it's just a stereo. What's your favorite person from the Village People? I
don't even know.
I found the construction worker to be the most attractive.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. If there's no more questions, I'll let you head to your Trump rally. But do you have to go for a long drive to get there, or?
It's about a 4.5 hour drive.
Oh, okay. Well, I should probably let you go then.
Well, California is a very narrow state. It's very. If I was going to go north, it would take me a day or more. But to go east from where I'm at, I'll be in another state in 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hi, Billy. How do you feel about masculinity of it, Martin? Um, I
It's a
think,
good question.
um, yeah, I think it's funny because it's almost how can I put it? There's a spectrum in the gay cult in the gay community. There are some that are ultra masculine, like in a fetish in a fetish sense. They're so masculine. Um, Me, not like feminine gay guys. I was never attracted to them at all. More attracted to the more masculine, but that is actually a minority in the gay community that we see. How can I put it? The cult, the media and stuff always push the feminine gay man as the face of homosexuality.
Mm.
Um, but that's not always true, and a
Well,
lot
you
of
drive
times
a
it's
truck.
not. You're just
Well,
right.
you've
I mean,
driven a
people
truck.
might think right. People might think I sound feminine or whatever, but
You do.
um, right. And my room painted gray and black. I like male colors. I don't have florally things. I used to be a diesel mechanic. I used to be a truck driver. Um, but at the same time, I was also a cosmetologist too. And I just, and I know how to cook and I know how to sew, but I also know how to do plumbing and lay tile and, um, but I do think, but then again, you know what? I think hetero their masculinity as well.
That's funny. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. Do you find Donald Trump attractive?
No, I don't. Not personally. I think his personality is, his humor is. Physically, no. There's probably one picture of him when he was younger. Where
Do you know who is attractive? His son, Donald Trump Jr.
I think, yeah, I think he's a really attractive guy. And some people think he's going to probably run in 2024. They're already trying to get him to run as governor for New York.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. But I think his
Let's have a
daughter.
look. His daughter Ivanka, she's stunning.
She is, and I think I think that she's being groomed, like to run as a president someday. That's what I think.
She might be.
Hey, William, the movie Cruising. I haven't seen it. That just by cruising, it sounds like
Yeah, I don't
a
know.
gay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cruising is what gay men do when they're looking for sex. They're basically just looking for sex. That's what cruising is.
Oh, ew. Okay, gross.
Yeah.
Well, when we get off today, I'm gonna pray you're gay away. I'm kidding. That doesn't work. You can't pray. You can't ask God to specifically take someone's gay away. You have to ask God to help them find salvation. That's the only way. It's
You want to
really
know
silly
something
to
about
ask
that?
for that specific thing. Yeah, tell me.
The church I was at, it had a bunch of fat ladies in it, including my mother. My mother used to be really fat. And they formed a group called Pray the Pounds Away. And they all ended up gaining weight because they would all, hang out together and bring snacks and food to the fellowship hall and for their little weight loss thing, but it didn't last long.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No, I think to lose weight, you just ask God for willpower, not the specific of please help me lose weight. There's a certain trick to prayer. You can't ask for the specific, dear Lord, please hand me that remote control. Just doesn't work. Like you have to. It's like what Homer Simpson did in an episode. You have to ask for like the thing around that. Please give me strength to get up, sort of thing.
Right. It's about you trying to asking for the qualities that would make you do these things.
Yes.
Not
so that's why I don't think praying the gay away works.
No.
No, but I would pray for you to find Christ because I would like to see you in heaven during eternity. Don't laugh at me. I don't want you to die and go to
It
hell.
would be
I
nice.
love you.
It would be nice. It'd be nice to go to heaven. But wait, what is your opinion on social media apps like? Oh, he meant Scruff and Grinder.
Oh, never heard of Scruff.
I met Scruff is like Grinder, but for more masculine gay people. That is actually where I met my partner.
Marquina.
I met Mark on there. I was on the app one day and I was just looking at it, and then I got a message. There's a lot of game playing in the gay world where people will pretend to like you, and you'll be talking online and you'll be forming a relationship. And then when it comes to actually meeting, they won't meet you. You're like, I just wasted all this time trying to get to know somebody and you don't even want to meet. They just like that to know that somebody wants them. They don't really want to meet you. But Mark, he had gone through all the games and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to?" What he said is, "Do you want to meet me for dinner?" And so
Okay.
I looked at his. Sure, I'll meet him for dinner, and we met. He came to the city I lived in at the time, and we had dinner, and it was just a normal two guys meeting for dinner.
This is it. Oh, this is. Thanks, SDG. Deuteronomy. A woman shall not wear a man's clothing. This is where transgenderism is a sin. Nor shall a man put on woman's clothing. Yeah, exactly.
Now, what
Bear
I
that in
want to
mind,
know is
Billy.
now the funny thing is, it's funny how our culture they will what's the word they will read that through today's eyes. So, what is a woman? Is Hillary Clinton, when she was campaigning, was she dressed as a woman by wearing a
No.
blazer? And do you know what I'm saying?
Very good point. I do know what you mean. I came from a church that is so far, that's so Christian. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's good to be super Christian if that's what makes you happy. But they were so Christian that one time my sister came to church and she was wearing a little bit of glitter here. And one of the church elders, so this is a brethren church, this isn't Baptist, this isn't Pentecost, this isn't Presbyterian, this is like so Christian that they're brethren. Like, you're not allowed to wear makeup is a sin. Woman dressing in female pants, like girly jeans, is technically a woman wearing male's clothing. So they were that far gone. They made an issue at my sister, and then my sister's like, it's glitter. And he goes, oh, I thought you got something pierced. And then they made my brother feel bad one time for taking off his shirt because he was hot. And one of the church female elders said, oh, we don't need any strippers in here. And me and my sister were looking like, what the like, we were angry. We were like, take it off. If you're hot, take it off. He had a t-shirt underneath, but because he was a bit of a chubber, like, this is, yeah, it's retarded. And another girl, one time there was a tiny bit of a cleavage showing, and they made her feel bad. She had to go all the way home and come back. And I'm like, this is not Christian. Like, you don't make people feel guilty like that. That's why I don't do that. Like, I mean, yeah. So coming from that level of church, yes, technically, when I wear pants every single day, my old church would interpret the Bible as saying that we were wearing male clothing. That's how extreme some Christians are. And they were nice people, but they were just too, yeah.
They
I've
were
come a
living.
long way. I've come a long way since that being that sheltered. I was so sheltered.
Why do people live in? You don't have to live mentally in the time period when this was written. I mean, you could use it for our modern living. I don't know. I guess everybody has their own level of what they'll like. My last partner, he was very religious, and not after we got together, or before we got together. But anyway, he came from a church where they believed that if you were sick, you deserved it. You did something wrong in your life that created, you know what I mean? Like you, and I'm like, really? I didn't, like, if you got the flu, it's because you're evil, or I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was
don't
weird,
like that.
but...
Yeah. See, that's the issue I have with certain Christians. People think that, yeah, I'm a Christian and that I love, and that I have nothing negative to say about Christianity because I don't really call them out that often, but I do call them out. But no, I have a huge issue with organized religion, and I have a huge issue with Christian churches like that. And I think that's why I'm so open to interviewing different types of people on the right. I'm yet to have a genuine lefty, but Hogatha was an awesome lefty to have.
Well, maybe am I the closest thing to a lefty?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You are the closest thing to a lefty that I've had. Exactly, Melissa.
Yeah. And that can go in anything, It's funny because my Mark, my partner, is black. It's funny because there's fundamentalism
Of course
even
he
in
is.
but there's fundamental culture. There's fundamentalism in the gay culture. It's like you have to do this and you have to be this or you're not one of us. And it's like, I don't know, it's ridiculous.
Well, I was very proud of my mum and dad because my mother, while she became a Christian in that church, in that really brethren-y type of church, she became a Christian because she used to be a Catholic. But what I liked about her was that when we got home, she'd always say, yeah, they're a little bit old-fashioned, so just don't always listen to everything they say, like just, things like that made me feel better. But it was, yeah. So that was good. There's a good question here. Really stupid question.
Mark is extremely.
Yeah, well, of course. I don't know what this question means, and I've already gotten in trouble for putting up bad questions, but I don't know what that means.
Do you chalk or block? I am going to.
What does that mean?
Translate that into. Do you mean am I a pitcher or a receiver?
Oh, like who's on top and who's at the bottom? Oh, don't answer.
Right.
Unless you want to, but like I'm getting in a lot of trouble already for, my content being really, really bad.
Why can't people
go ahead.
Why can't people be ethical and treat people as individuals with I
agree.
I always have. I don't know.
I think you have. Well, that's the issue. It's like, I think this is where I struggle and where lots of people struggle. I know how to demonize a group of people because I don't like the ideology of that group. So Islam, I don't like Islam. Just like many people don't like Christianity. Okay, that's fine. You're allowed to not like Christianity, but don't treat me as an individual badly. So if somebody, yeah, and I know you get that, and I know we know how to compartmentalize that. But if I go out of my way to say I don't like Islam and I don't like homosexuality and I don't like atheism, I've just demonized 3 groups because I don't agree with either of those 3 groups. But I'm never going to treat a person on an individual level badly because I disagree with the ideology of the group.
Right, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, those people take, like, I've told you, I'm against your lifestyle. I don't think homosexuality is right. But I'm going to treat you as an individual, I'm going to be kind to you. But usually a gay person on the left would take my demonization of the ideology as a personal attack on them. I hate that. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. It's almost like they think everybody has to tolerate them or agree with them, and for some reason there are people who actually they need to be tolerated, or I don't really care if anybody. See, that's the thing why I can get along with people is, okay, like you told me your opinion of it, and that the opinion doesn't affect me. It's like I don't need to be loved or by everybody. I don't need people to agree with everything that I
do love you, Christian love.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying. It's like I don't need to be celebrated, and I don't understand why there's everybody to agree with everything that they do. It's like, well, if you need that, do you even really believe in what you supposedly believe in? I mean, the way you feel about it should be the most important, not what somebody on the outside feels about it. It's like, that's why people have their opinions, and they don't matter to me. And maybe that's something that comes with experience and maturity. I don't know.
Yeah. This is this is my other moderator, but he rarely moderates, but he always has good comments. The problem with the church Dia came from is not that they were fundamental, it was that they were legalistic. Oh, that's a good summary. They created laws that went above and beyond the Bible. Yeah, I think that's accurate. That's what the
Oh, that's
Brethren
good.
Christians are. Yeah, I've never heard it like stated that way.
So is it kind of like being a Christian on steroids, or
I think so.
yeah, okay. So like I'm so good that I'm going to be even better than what I'm expected to be, or I okay. Why do some Christians throw gays off buildings?
I think this guy's
I know.
completely confused. What is wrong with you, Philip? Honestly.
I think Muslims do that.
Yeah. They're Christians on steroids. They've taken it a step further and added this extra prophet. So funny. Look, I think we're done. There are no more questions, and you have to drive 4 hours to get to a line. And I'm really pleased that I was able to interview you as Billy. No one's ever seen you as Billy.
No, not
except
until
for Unframe of Mind.
I removed my makeup, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it on my walk away video. I took off my makeup, but yeah, most people don't. This is the first time that I've done an interview with just myself, and I love it because I didn't have to put on all the makeup.
Yeah, no, it was good. Well, I'm really thankful that you came on my show. You will be starring on Australian internet again this Friday as Kitty. So everyone tune in for that. That's on Tim Wilms's channel, Wilmsfront, at 7 p.m. our time and 11 p.m. America your time, right? Is that what I said to you? Yeah, don't stuff it up because you were about to go live yesterday, you idiot.
I know. It's so 19-hour difference. That's a big difference.
That's a big difference. And we're both bad at maths.
But why not? I wish it was more like 24-hour difference so we'd at least be on the same, it's like what a 6-hour difference, a 5-hour difference. It's like
that'd be
just make it a whole day
easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and also guys, shooting tomorrow for the Uncockables. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm very happy to talk to you, and I'm glad that we're friends. And
Me too.
I'll keep praying for you.
All right. I'll take all those prayers.
You too. You don't pray.
Thanks for having. No, I do. I mean, do I pray? I think good thoughts. How about that?
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, God bless you, and thank you so much for coming on. And I'll see you on Friday because I'll be in the studio on Friday.
All right.
I won't be on camera, but I'll see you on Friday.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You got to leave studio at the bottom there. Yeah. Did you get a gay pastor on? Can you get a gay pastor on? I don't think so. But I am trying to get that really angry preacher on my channel, the angry one. I forgot his name, the one that hates gays. Anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. I enjoyed doing that interview. Billy's a good guy despite his homosexuality. But yeah, I think hopefully get Rod Bauer on. That's a good idea. Wait, is Rod Bauer the one that Neil walked in on? Is that who that is? No, Benjamin, my video is with Lana Lockteff. She's a beautiful white nationalist that was banned off YouTube. I've had her on my show twice, but you guys only get to see the second time because the first time the audio stuffed up. Anyway, and that's this Friday at 6 p.m. It'll be premiering. So rather than an edited video with me talking about a subject, it'll be my interview with her. I think it's a 2-part video. So it'll be Friday, 6 o'clock this Friday, and then it'll be Friday, 6 o'clock the following Friday, and then so on and so forth. But I've managed to get really good guests on my channel, well known and not well known. Like I think Hogatha was really adventurous for me to do, even though many people didn't like it. I thought it was really adventurous for me to do and really brave. Not brave of me, but like just brave as a conservative to have someone like that ridiculous. It was a good parody. I thought it was one of the best things I ever did. And then to have Billy on, I wanted people to see Billy. Australian Protectionist Party is part of the reason I get great guests, because he suggests people that I don't even know. I don't even know their names, and then I just hound them, and then I get them on my channel. Oh, okay, Anxious Aussie, yeah, but he's the fake. Okay, so he is the one that Neil. Yeah, I could try get him on. That's an adventurous question though, because he'll say no probably. He prefers people like Magda Zabansky. Let's just keep looking. Eat your bat soup, bigot. I don't have any bat soup. And I don't have freaking coronavirus. I just have a cough. My throat isn't even sore. Pastor Anderson. Yeah, I've already sent him an email. I am not a feminist. No. I am pro-woman. I think there are women out there who suffer at the hands of men in Latin America, in the Middle East. Like, there are men that like view women horribly and don't, they beat them, and I don't think that's any good. But I don't have to be a feminist to hate what those particular men are doing to those women. Does Lana Locked know you're a Zio Shield crypto? Yep, she's well aware. She thinks I'm Mossad and she hates me and has even invited me to be on her show next month. So she clearly knows that I'm a Zio Shield crypto. Shut up. I haven't been to China. I don't know. Were you offended by my comments regarding your interview process? I wasn't offended by them, but like, you just sound like the same with the Dana Fam interview. It's just, it's all the same shit to me. I'm used to the hate. Or the criticism, not hate. I think people forget that this is my channel, so if you don't like it, you don't have to listen. Thank you. Cool. Dia on Lana's show. Thanks. I love you, Margaret. You're my best friend forever. Don't trust people doing push-ups in long grass. Benjamin, you're a Christian. What did you think of this interview? Did I maybe go a little bit too far? I trust your critical, objective opinion, or Christian opinion. I know that I should probably... The banana reference was a bit rude, I know. I was trying to be funny. I'm not always serious. I don't want to call out Maddie. Okay, so... By the way, Australian Protectionist Party, I forgot to tell you. I know you texted me yesterday. But that girl you want me to get on my channel, Philosophat, the beautiful blonde white nationalist, she is coming on my channel, but just she said I'd have to wait a couple months because she's super busy right now. What got her... see, originally we were just talking and she didn't respond. But she responded on the inbox, but she didn't really give me much. But then when I said, when she saw that I was that I had Lana on, she's like, oh, and then the connection grew, and she's like, yeah, I can do the show, it'll take time because of this and because of that. But another nationalist I've been working on, who I forgot her name. Hang on, let me just go to my inbox section and I'll just quickly tell you. Sorry guys, I know this is unprofessional. So go down. What's her name? She's a really pretty girl. She's brunette. She's been on Lana's show. Hang on, let me go down. What's her name? Well, Faith Goldie is one, but that's not the one that that I've been talking to. Robin Riley. She's a beautiful nationalist, and I've been interested in her for a while. It seems like the only people that I can get on my channel lately that are well known are nationalists, but yeah, she would be, and she has already agreed, but it'll just take a couple months. Also, Margaret Court, I'm trying to get her back because she told me to recontact her, and Philosophicat. Philosophicat. Sorry, I thought it was Philosophicat. Philosophicat. Sorry. And you may be able to get Mark Collett on. Yeah, I suppose. Benjamin, I'm going to drive in a couple of minutes. I need to get to another location. So I'm going to call you because I want to pick your brain, if you don't mind. Let me just go up. Oh, another person is Peter Evans. Is that his name? Who's the marijuana chef? Hang on, let me look it up. Is it Peter Evans? P-E-T-R-E-A-V-S. Yeah, Peter Evans. So he'll be on my channel sometime this year, unless he chooses not to come on. Like this, I'm telling you the people that have said that come on, but they might not come on. But Gary Awesome. I don't think Gary Awesome would come on my channel. I don't know what you're talking about. E. Michael Jones. Who's that? Should I know who that is? Hang on. I'm sure I know who that is. Just give me a second. I'm just bad with names. E. Michael Jones is a magazine editor, lecturer, and writer, and has been a leading social critic for over 2 decades and has written over a dozen books, including Degenerate Modern Monsters from the ID and the... Is he an atheist? No, he's a Christian. No, wait, what is he? That's not the link I wanted to click. All right. I've seen his face before. Yeah, I've seen his face before. Just because you guys know who someone is doesn't necessarily mean I'll always know who they are. But I think I know the face. Give me a sec. Homosexuals do not have children, they buy them. The buying and selling of human beings is known as slavery. Good point. Follow him on Twitter. I know his face. I must have seen him being interviewed by someone. That's cool, Anxious Aussie. Yeah, he might. I've seen photos of you. You're pretty. You're blonde hair, blue-eyed, Aryan girl. There's no way I could get someone like E. Michael Jones on my channel. Like I can see his reach here. He's super famous. You are a feminist, as you state in your description. Okay, yeah, I'm a feminist because I hate it when man-hating women, like to get custody over their children by lying to their men. And I've just stated that I wasn't a feminist, but okay. And because I'm pro-woman for other countries, not necessarily the Western world. Aussie drama, you don't have to watch my channel. Like, you guys are so weird. I love how people watch me and like to hate on me and critique on me. and then like they somehow you think you're better because you're hiding behind a keyboard. You're a llama. Oh, okay. Sure. I'll have to study up on the guy though, because clearly I don't know about him nearly as much as the rest of you. And I know that's shocking, but I don't know everyone you guys know. And in fact, that's what makes my relationship with Australian Protectionist Party so good, because he'll text me and go, "You need to get this person on," and I'm like, "I don't know who that is," and then I'll read about them. Like, okay, now I know who to get on. I don't know what that is. Damn keyboard warriors. That's right. Good thing I have a thick skin. Bye. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean I can't respond. All right, I'm going to go now. I've got to take my coronavirus medicine. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. This Friday at 6 p.m., you will see Lana Lochtef and me in a relatively long discussion. I had to edit it down. And then you'll see the same thing the following week. My guest next week is Jimothy. We'll be talking about giants and Nephilim and the Rephaim and the angels and the humans and all of that stuff. And yeah, so we're going to be doing a take 2 because we weren't able to like talk about it before because it was such a shit video. Okay, before we go, I want to finish up with a Bible verse. Let's see what the verse of the day is. And I'm going to see the viewership drop right now because I'm about to preach the word of God. I haven't been a very good Christian my whole life. I've always been up and down with it, but I do try my best. Garbage Human! Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in ages. How are you, bro? Love your channel, by the way. Everyone subscribe to Garbage Human. Garbage Human has one of the best channels in Australian conservative circles. Garbage Human and I both have the honor of having interviewed Daisy Cousins. Okay, so let's let's have a look. What's the verse of the day? Here it is. Love not the world, excuse me, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. That's really good. I love that. That's 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. So yeah, I'm going to read that one more time because it's very relevant. Love not the world. Don't love the world. Neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Good, yeah, good. Subscribe to. You're going to call me? Oh, okay, you can call me. I need to talk to someone else as well. I'm about to call him now. So yeah, all right. How about Dia pray at the end of streams? Pray? Not right now. My prayers are private, but I do pray that all of you find salvation, that all of you are happy in your life, and that all of you are financially stable, and that if any obstacles come your way, that you can overcome them with strength. And yeah, amen. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. I'm going. I need my medicine. End broadcast.